Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Xero number 3062100 PSA. This is a piece of intumescent fire seal with an adhesive back in black. The FS 3003 from Xero. This is a 6-inch sample piece just for purposes of this video. Self-adhesive tape on the back, and used where smoke sealing is not required. Designed to be mortised into a wood door or frame or on the edge strip of a wood or composite door leaf. Lots of properties of this item down below this video that we should go over. Activation temperature, which we'll check in a moment, or at least somewhat check. 250 degree Fahrenheit. Expansion volume 20 times. With the paper backer, they've got this material at 0.062. My caliper says 0.096. Even with the paper removed, 0.087, 0.087. They've got it at 1 inch overall width. 1.02, 27 times the expansion volume, expansion pressure 27 psi. Very good stability after expansion. Flame and moisture resistant, chemically inert and paintable, non-carcinogenic, long life, no deterioration, and odor free. Soft puff Intumet is developed specifically for doors where its rate of expansion is more conducive for what would happen in a fire sort of test, what you would want to have happen. This matrix rubber material begins intumescing at relatively low temperatures where organic materials begin to emit combustible and noxious gases. It expands gradually to fill all gaps with moderate force that will not unlatch the door. And that's really what the bottom line is. There's a soft puff, and I think the other is called a hard puff. You don't want to disturb what's occurring at the door with a violent reaction from the material. Has sufficient reservoir capacity to continue intumescing if escape door are closed again. FS 3003 also stands up well to the stringent requirements for protecting fire doors on oil rigs, which are subject to especially intense heat and flames. Sold per foot. Be sure to be mindful of what you're ordering. If you've got 7-foot doors, you'll need a 7-foot piece of this for that one side. There is a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions, where you can review the requirements of the installation. Surface of the frame to be thoroughly cleaned where the gasketing is to be applied. See the drawings. Either a solvent cleaner such as mineral spirits or common detergent cleaner may be used. Make sure to check for any and all impediments, dust, dirt, oil, grease, etc., or loose paint, and remove them from the surface. Surface area must be completely dry before the installation process begins. So I've installed this material. The bottom line is, if the surface of what you're attaching to is even remotely less than perfectly clean, or the paint is not cured completely, or the stain is not cured completely, you can expect to have a failure. When you've got it clean, and I would not use detergent cleaner at all. That's hard to get that material off. You need to be able to clean it and utterly have it clean. Otherwise, you'll come to the job site the next day and you'll have a detachment. The material's not inexpensive per foot, so you might want to be doubly sure that your material's clean. Gasketing is best applied at temperatures between 70 and 90 degree Fahrenheit. Do not attach if you're below 50 or above 100 degree Fahrenheit. Xero recommends that the gasketing be installed after doors and frames have been finish painted and the paint has dried. I would add dried and cured. The first piece of gasketing should be installed at the head and should be the entire width of the head. Measure and cut the weather strip to size and locate properly. Remove the paper backing from self-adhesive strip 1 to 2 feet at a time and press firmly into place as you align and install the gasketing at the head. Don't stretch the material. This material gives me no indication that it's elastic at all, and it's very rigid, so it should be very easy to put it on quite straight. The strike jam gasketing should be applied next. See the drawing for the location of that. Install the hinge jam gasketing last. Do not close the door immediately after installation. Waiting period of 20 to 30 minutes should be allowed for the material to set up. You'll want to get it installed. You want to apply substantial pressure. Leave that door open for a half an hour before you close it. You don't want to make any contact with this. Because NFPA is so incredibly clear about the maximum margin that you can have on fire doors, I don't really see where this material is going to be used unless you're installing it on the door. Intumescent fire seal for use where smoke sealing is not required, designed for mortised into a wood door or frame. You're not going to... The installation instructions showing that you're surface applying this, if you're at 0.09 thickness, and NFPA tells you that the maximum dimension you can have is 1/8 of an inch, there's no way realistically that you're going to be able to make this work. So this kind of material is going to be used by door manufacturers who are installing this into a door and not really on the frame. I readily admit that I am not aware of all the circumstances of where you will use this, but given the thickness, I couldn't see how possibly it would be used so that you're compliant with the intumescent requirements and then NFPA as well. Regardless of that, let's try a little experiment and see how this material reacts. We're all ready to go here. When that flame gets close, and obviously it's not installed on the door, but it is most certainly expanding. Just want to demonstrate what this material looks like when it has worked or done its work. I think we've adequately demonstrated how it's going to... Obviously, if it was installed, it wouldn't have the propensity of curling back. It's relatively cool to the touch, given the fact that we've just literally thrown the amount of temperature it takes to make it activate. That's what activation looks like. Okay. I thought it would be neat, since this is a sample, to actually activate it. Okay. Applied more heat to this area here, and it's, you know, obviously this is not scientific at all, but it went from about 0.9 to what's going to be 3/8 of an inch, something in that range. Okay. Now the name Zero is quite synonymous with this type of material, intumescent. And I wouldn't go so far as to say that they were a leader in it, but they were using and propagating intumescent material before I had ever heard of anyone else doing it. As a result, they are quite synonymous as a leader in that material, along with being a leader in the realm of STC-controlled openings for, obviously, sound transmission control. So you've got a couple of unique areas where Zero works really well. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Zero products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Zero, this was their part number. FS3003, but the longer part number is, I have to pull that back up. I closed that tab unintentionally. 30621 PSA, intumescent fire seal, or any other Zero product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much.